The India-Pakistan rivalry, a decades-old conflict rooted in history and territorial disputes, reached a fever pitch in May 2025. The world watched with bated breath as the two nuclear-armed neighbors engaged in a dangerous dance of military action and rhetoric. The catalyst? A deadly attack on Indian soil that sent shockwaves through the region and ignited a firestorm of accusations and retaliation. This recent escalation served as a stark reminder of the volatile nature of the India-Pakistan relationship and the ever-present threat of a conflict with potentially catastrophic global consequences. The latest chapter in this long-standing conflict began on April 22nd, 2025, with the tragic deaths of 26 tourists in Pahalgam, a popular tourist destination in Indian-administered Kashmir. India wasted no time in pointing the finger at Pakistan, alleging the attack was carried out by gunmen backed by Islamabad. Pakistan vehemently denied any involvement, but the damage was done. The stage was set for a dangerous escalation, one that would test the limits of diplomacy and push both nations to the brink of war. The spectre of the 2008 Mumbai attacks, where Pakistan-based militants unleashed a wave of terror on the Indian city, loomed large. The memory of that horrific event, which claimed the lives of over 160 people, fueled public anger and demands for retribution within India. The government, under immense pressure to respond decisively, found itself caught between the need for restraint and the clamor for a strong message. As tensions soared, the international community watched with growing concern. The potential for a conflict between India and Pakistan, both possessing nuclear arsenals, was a terrifying prospect, not just for the region but for the entire world. The stakes were incredibly high, and the need for a peaceful resolution had never been greater. The following sections will delve into the intricate details of this latest chapter in the India-Pakistan conflict, examining the events that unfolded, the motivations of the actors involved, and the potential consequences for the future. The path to the May 2025 conflict was paved with escalating tensions and a steady erosion of trust between India and Pakistan. The Pahalgam attack proved to be the tipping point, shattering any semblance of normalcy and pushing both nations down a slippery slope towards war. To understand the gravity of the situation, it is crucial to examine the chronology of events that led to this dangerous precipice. Following the Pahalgam attack, India's accusations against Pakistan were met with denials and counter-accusations. The diplomatic back and forth did little to de-escalate the situation, instead fanning the flames of animosity. Public outrage in India grew with each passing day, piling pressure on Prime Minister Modi to take decisive action. The ghosts of the Mumbai attacks haunted the nation, serving as a grim reminder of the human cost of inaction. On May 7, 2025, India launched Operation Sindoor, a series of pre-dawn airstrikes targeting what it claimed were terrorist training camps in Pakistan-administered Kashmir and Punjab. These strikes, utilizing Israeli-made drones, marked a significant escalation in the conflict and shattered any remaining hopes for a diplomatic solution. Pakistan, caught off guard by the Indian offensive, vowed a swift and resolute response. The following days witnessed a flurry of military actions as both sides exchanged missile and drone strikes. Pakistan, in retaliation for the Indian airstrikes, launched Operation Banyan Mahsoos, targeting Indian military installations in Indian-administered Kashmir, Punjab and Gujarat. The Pakistani offensive employed a range of weaponry, including Chinese PL-15 missiles, Turkish drones, Baykar-Yeha and Asisgard Songa, long-range rockets and J-10C fighter jets. The situation on the ground remained tense, with both sides claiming to have inflicted significant casualties on the enemy while downplaying their own losses. As the conflict escalated, the world watched with growing anxiety. The United Nations and several countries issued urgent calls for restraint, urging both India and Pakistan to step back from the brink. However, with both sides locked in a cycle of action and reaction, the pleas for peace seemed to fall on deaf ears. The drums of war were beating louder with each passing day, threatening to plunge the region into chaos and bloodshed. In the midst of escalating tensions, efforts to broker a fragile peace have begun. Diplomatic channels are opening, and leaders from both nations are cautiously optimistic. There is a palpable sense of urgency as the world watches closely. The stakes are high, and the path to peace is fraught with challenges, but there is hope. With determination and goodwill, a lasting resolution might just be within reach. In this section, we delve into the underlying causes of the current India-Pakistan conflict. It's a complex web of historical grievances, territorial disputes, and national pride. Both nations have deep-seated mistrust and unresolved issues dating back to their partition in 1947. Understanding these factors is crucial to grasping the intensity of the present situation. Recent events have only exacerbated the tensions. Incidents along the line of control, inflammatory rhetoric from political leaders, and media sensationalism have all contributed to the escalating conflict. Each side blames the other, creating a cycle of provocation and retaliation that seems difficult to break. The international community is watching closely. Major powers and neighboring countries are expressing their concerns and calling for restraint. Diplomatic efforts are underway to de-escalate the situation, but the risk of miscalculation remains high. The global stakes are significant, as both India and Pakistan are nuclear-armed nations. The question on everyone's mind is whether a ceasefire can be achieved or if we're on the brink of further chaos. Efforts for peace are ongoing, but the path is fraught with challenges. The world holds its breath, hoping for a resolution that brings lasting peace to the region.